Hey, it's Microcasm, and we're back with some Sil-Q. So, I'm sure everyone remembers where we left off. We're playing Earth, the Dying Pacifist, and we're cornered by some werewolves. Everyone's been waiting for the conclusion to this epic saga for a whole week. And, well, you're gonna have to wait just a little longer, because I want to talk through the situation. This is definitely like a dire situation. We got hit by a werewolf in the last video, and I think we ended up with 15 health and a bit of bleeding. So, in the next turn, this left one is going to hit us. This one hasn't seen us yet, it's unwary. So it will definitely hit us the turn after. So we have one turn where we're only going to get hit by a single werewolf. Now, let's take a look at our options. We have Song of Delvings, that's our only song. It's not going to help. We have some healing, not a lot, but some. We have Quickness, Dexterity, Constitution, Slumber, Majesty, Dismay. Those are our tools. We also have Exchange Places. I find that in very dire situations in Sil, it's often the best idea to take a potion of quickness first. Because maybe you have a few different paths you could take to get out of the situation. And potion of quickness facilitates all those paths, basically. I find that when you get into bad situations in roguelikes, you often come out with like a few courses of action, and you try one, or you could start going down one path, but you could pivot. Once you start like taking damage, your options become less and less until you have no options left and you die. And so quickness makes all your options more viable. So it's definitely a possibility. I could take quickness and then think about something else. The other option would be to use Majesty. Majesty would likely make the werewolves run away. And then I wouldn't have to deal with taking any hits. Of course, if I took Quickness, I would take one hit and then have to figure out the next step. Thankfully, this is a Ruby Serpent. And we do have a Ring of Frost. So we have protection against fire. If it was like an Amethyst Serpent with a Frost Breath, we'd be in real trouble. It is sleeping, but it might wake up. So the other option would be to use the Staff of Dismay that confuses monsters. But I believe confusion works the same on monsters as it does on the player, which means that they attempt to take an action and are sometimes unable to. So they could still hit us, even if they do get confused. Dexterity would increase our dodge by 3. Which is pretty good. But we are going to take extreme measures. We're going to use as many tools as we can. Because basically this is the most dangerous situation we've been in so far. And it might be the most dangerous situation we get into for quite a while. We've not played perfectly, that's for sure. We've gotten ourselves into some bad situations by poor playing. But this one actually I don't think was even our fault. I don't know if there was anything else we could have done, honestly. We saw some werewolves, we stepped into a corner. There's other monsters in the room. We didn't want to go into that top right corner because we could have woken up something else. I think we did the best we could. This type of situation I think is unlikely to happen again. So let's pull out all the stops. So the first thing we're going to do is increase our willpower. We can increase it by 2 to 12. Or, well, 8 effective, or sorry, 8 actual, 12 effective willpower. 8 is a lot for this part of the game. I wouldn't normally spend the XP here. However, it's not a bad idea, because it does make us more able to get out of these types of situations in the future. And we're probably going to need a willpower of around 9 by the end of the game, so it's not like we're wasting anything. The next thing I'm going to do is I consider taking quickness, as I said. It's always worth considering. I don't think I'm going to in this case. And the reason is, if I take Constitution, it will increase my health by a fair bit. And it's best to take Constitution when your health is full. Because you'll basically get more out of it. Like, if you take Constitution and you have 1 health left, you'll end up with like 3 health, and it will basically have done nothing. That's the extreme case, but it's true, you know, on a scale, as a gradation. So, if we take Constitution now, it's going to do the best for us. We'll take 1 hit, but we'll have some more wiggle room. So we're not going to get 1 shot, basically. Like, say we don't take Constitution, what we're going to do after is use Majesty. But say it doesn't work, we get hit once this turn, then we might be on 1-shot territory. We don't want that. So let's use Constitution. And the werewolf missed us. So they're plus 17. I'm not sure why they're plus 17, although... Oh, I suppose they're getting a crowd bonus. So they're plus 17 and we're plus 14 for evasion. We had the option of adding to our evasion, but I checked it earlier when I was thinking about this, and we could have only added 1 to our evasion, which wouldn't have helped enough. But it's not good to be in this situation where they have a higher attack than you have evasion. They could get crits, you know. We could lose a lot of health really quickly. And of course, both of them know about us now. So now we have to use Majesty. We have to hope that our willpower is high enough. And it was. Serpent, werewolf, all fleeing. Now we have to get here. We could use quickness. We have 4 potions of quickness. We're going to get sprinting soon. Using quickness takes a turn. Getting sprinting working takes, 4 turns. The werewolves might start attacking us again before we get sprinting. However, we could just use Majesty again. I think our will is high enough that we're gonna really overwhelm them. But we have 4 potions of quickness. I think we're probably in the clear now, and we've made some distance, right? These guys are fast, but we're fast too. I was pretty sure we were going to be okay. At the end of the last episode, I was having my doubts, but then as I thought about it, we're going to get them to run away. Let's just take a step. He's moving towards... Okay. 3. Okay, we're fast. I am going to close it, though. Their movement's being a little sporadic. Okay. And we lived. Everyone take a sigh of relief. You can sit back from the edge of your chairs and stop holding your breath. I think we're going to be okay. Alright, so we're at 700 feet. Actually, that means that I want to go back up. Yeah, because I think, I mean, our depth is 650, our minimum depth is 600. We're not too deep. But we have to be careful about our depth. You know, if those had been greater werewolves, that might have been too much for us. Let's refuel using this lamp. Let's pick up this Majesty. And I mean, I think that was a good situation in that it displayed what I've been talking about as far as like why this character is powerful and why I think that they're going to be okay. We had a situation, I don't like having this bat there. We had a situation where we got seen. There wasn't a whole lot we could do about it. It just happened. And that's how it goes. And we escaped. That's exactly what I was looking for. There was that amethyst serpent, but it was sleeping. I wasn't too afraid of it. Of course, we always have to be afraid of things with frost attacks. Let's not forget that. Okay, he stepped towards me. That's okay. We're just gonna let him be. Let's see if we can shut that bat in there. Okay. Some more werewolves. Let's let them pass. Wait, they don't see us again. Okay. Put it in there. Okay. Let's get going again. Oh, we got seen by a shadow. We don't have an amulet of haunted dreams or something. Okay. It's very likely we could evade it because we're fast. But I don't like the idea of evading this shadow sort of out into the darkness where I don't know what's out there and we're trying to run from something. Let's just reroll. I know you can't reroll too many times. I've said this before, but we're going to reroll in that case. So we have 6,127 turns of lantern brightness. And we have this Lantern of True Sight, 2,724 turns. We have this Staff of Warding. We could probably get rid of the Lesser Jewel now, because we have like 8,000 turns of light, which should be plenty for finding more fuel. Worst case scenario, I do have the Dagger of Quivianen, which provides one tile of light. So the Horn of Terror I don't think is that useful for us, because although it is reusable, we have so many staffs of so many charges of Majesty that I don't think we're going to use Terror. So let's drop it. I believe that if we use this to refuel, it'll waste, yeah. I don't want to waste, I would like to have Warding, though, because Warding will prevent monsters from pursuing us. You know, that could be very useful. Maybe Elemental, no, because I still have the Winter's Chill on. I need to take Elemental Resistance, although I could take the Cloak off. Constitution, Grace. I want to keep the Grace for the Throne Room. Freedom we need, Sanctity, Understanding we need, Revelations we need, Slumber we need, Majesty we need, Dismay. We don't really need Dismay, I guess, because we have Majesty. It only has 6 charges. But the Lesser Jewel is just not doing that much for us. Now that we have Listen and Song of Delvings plus a Dagger of Quivianen, I think we're going to drop the Lesser Jewel. And we're going to take Warding. And we're just going to hope that we find more fuel. We really should. The amount of fuel that we found in this game has been, this run has been usually small. We don't want to mess around with this room that has a shadow spider in it. Let's not mess around there. There's this piece of rubble here. We could use a Staff of Freedom. I guess we will. We have 12. Let's just use it so that we don't have to go up and down the stairs too many times and risk it collapsing. Something there. Our perception is still not that high. So we're not actually seeing what these monsters are a lot of the time. Just seeing the question marks is enough, but it would be really nice to be able to see what they actually are. But we have so many other things that we need to spend points on. I don't think our perception is going to be going up anytime soon. Sleeping. I'm not too worried about them. They're young dragons, which I don't think that they were going to see us. I mean, sleeping monsters in general, you're going to have a really hard time seeing this character. But also like older dragons, like great dragons and uniques. They're pretty funny for pacifists, because by the time you get down there, they're just like sleeping near their horde. So you just walk around, pick up their stuff, and leave. It's no problem. So this leather armor is 1d5, which is actually really good. I mean, it's really good in that it's very rare to find leather armor that's 1d5. 1d4 is way more common. If we use it, though, then we're over the 10-pound limit, which means... I mean, we could go over the limit. Let's see, around shield, leather armor. Yeah, I don't know, I really wish I could find a helmet and some gloves and some boots. I think what I might do is take this stealth sacrifice, and then next time I find those bits, I will put them on. Is there anything else we can drop, though? I hate having these videos that are too much inventory management, because sometimes I watch other people's videos, and I mean, there are some games like NetHack that are very inventory heavy. Like, inventory management is a whole mini game, you know? It's a big part of the NetHack experience, as far as I can tell. Let's hope that he goes down. Come on. I want to trap you. Alright, screw it. Didn't mean to do that. He's unwary. We don't want to mess with him. He's got a frost attack, so let's just not mess with that area. That area is too dangerous. We're getting to a kite shield. We could put on a kite shield. It's -2 evasion, but 1d6 compared to 1d3, and then that would bring us over the 10-pound limit, and then we could just use the leather armor, and we would end up with 4 additional armor. Is that worth it? What is our stuff? 18. We need to add 5 more points of stealth, probably, before the game is over. It's 2 cloak. Okay. Let's identify this herb. Sustenance. We'll take it. It's good to not have to worry about food. Didn't think we were going to, but then I didn't think we would have to worry about light, and we did. This character does seem like it's going to take... Oh, thankfully we saw this false floor. Can disarm it. This character is taking longer than I had anticipated, which I probably should have realized it would. Because it's a very weak character. I can't, like, think about it like a Finarfin character. You can kind of blaze through the game. I feel like, compared to this, like, Finarfin is so much simpler. I've even wondered, like, this is very, like, presumptuous of me, but I've wondered, like, could I get 2 wins in a row, maybe, with Finarfin as a pacifist? You're super cautious, like we are right now. Maybe it would be doable. Okay, we found some gloves. So let's do this. We're doing this whole armor thing. We're going to use our gloves. It's only 1d1, but it's still something. We're going to pick up this leather armor. We're going to drop the old leather armor. And we're going to pick up the shield. We might need to increase our evasion at this point, because our evasion is going to suffer a little bit because of this shield. Okay, let's drop the round shield. Now we have 3 to 12 armor, plus 14. Our evasion is being helped by the shadow cloak as well, so we're boosted and also, you know, have some malice to it. So it evens out to some extent. And then now that we have a kite shield, we could consider taking blocking. 1,000 experience. Blocking seems good, but it also seems like, you know, we could roll a 1 for our shield block, and then that would be doubled to 2, and it wouldn't be that good. I guess that's always the case. Did this floor just get blocked off? Because there's some young drakes down there, and then there's the snow trolls. Okay, we can go down here. 650, and we're going to go down. 700 feet. So yeah, I was saying we're getting to this point where, like, you know, we're seeing Rauko on a regular basis. We're seeing shadow spiders. You know, there's sort of another class of monsters beyond this. You know, greater werewolves instead of werewolves. Some of the bigger serpents. What else? Like greater drakes. But we're seeing like the types of monsters that are in the end game. Just their weaker cousins. So we better be prepared. We need shadow sauce. We're fast now. That was dangerous. That was surprisingly dangerous. Did not see that coming. Okay, we have 2,000 experience. Let's add to stealth. Let's add again to stealth next time. We've been really shoring up our ability to get out of bad situations, but we've got to increase our stealth now. Okay, so now we've found a mithril item. It's 1.5 pounds, which is just enough. I mean, it would have to be a dagger, which there aren't any mithril daggers, so of course it's at least 1 pound, which you need 1 pound to make a Feanorian lamp. So let's carry it. Are we going to carry it? We've been so short on experience that having spending experience on smithing seems dubious to me. It requires 4 points, but then we looked at this earlier and I don't remember. Under lights, Feanorian lamp, 7. Yeah, but so 7 is the total amount, but we have 4 grace. So yeah, we would need 4 just for the prereq skill points. That isn't that bad. Okay, let's plus 500 for the jeweler ability, and then we could make some other rings or something. So let's do this. We're going to drop dismay at this point. We're going to pick this up. Let's get out of the way of this Kemen Rauko. This other Kemen Rauko. So he goes down the stairs. Okay. Now we're kind of on the lookout for a forge. So that was very strange little situation. You could see that I stopped singing. I know I've mentioned this, but stopping singing is a free action, so I could do that without him bumping into me. And then I just stood in the corner. Because monsters always cut corners. There's this chasm here. I don't have leaping, so I can't get past it. I might have to just sneak past these people, these trolls and this Easterling spy. I can spend turns though. I mean, it's okay. Just step out of the way, man. Come on. I could walk past him and just reroll the floor. I prefer not to. Just need to get lucky with him going right twice in a row. Come on. There we go. Up. This is the life of a pacifist. There we go. No problem. That was funny. But we don't want to mess with him. This floor is looking pretty rough, so let's just go down. 750. I can't put this on without changing our getting too much too heavy armor. Lesser vampires got high perception, so we have to leave. I don't want to have him at the entrance to our floor. I don't feel comfortable doing that. So vampires and Sil, it might be sort of counterintuitive that they would have high perception, just because I don't know, you wouldn't necessarily associate some vampires with having high perception. We're going to use this lantern refuel. Just drop it and pick up the oil instead. Now we have enough oil, and I feel pretty safe about light. But yeah, I don't know. You wouldn't necessarily associate vampires with perception, but the thing is that in Tolkien's mythology, vampires are not like the Dracula kind of vampires. In the same way that the werewolves are not really the like popular sort of conception of werewolves. See, this is entrancement. Let's drop it. Instead, both of them are animals who have been inhabited by an evil spirit, is I believe what the description is. One of those funny things with Tolkien, that he's so descriptive, and yet much of the evil things, I should say many of the evil things, are not really described. Like, there's no clear description of orcs. There's no clear like physical description of vampires other than a large bat. A little bit careful here. Okay, we'll be okay. So when I was making the tile set, I made more like humanoid vampires at first, and someone pointed out that that's not really accurate. I thought that was good criticism. I was sort of aware that it wasn't really accurate, but I just thought it'd be okay. I'll just they were kind of bestial, kind of humanoid. They're still a little humanoid. I made them more bestial, but they're still a little humanoid. The same is true of the werewolves. I made them look more like traditional werewolves at first, and I think it was a positive change that I ended up making them more like just wolves, but kind of rearing up a bit. Okay, so we have some experience. Let's add to our stealth again. And now I'm feeling a little bit more. Let's do it again. Can we? Yeah, okay. 16 stealth. Now we're doing okay on stealth. Let's use this lantern. We'll just waste the fuel. It doesn't really matter. We have this flask, which is 3,000 turns of light, which is quite a bit. I don't want to carry around lanterns. We don't have the inventory space for it. Hopefully we'll find a few more flasks of oil. I don't like that he's seen me, because I don't really have a lot of good ways to move him. So let's just leave the floor. And now we're a little bit low. Yeah, we're pretty low. Since we're carrying elemental resistance, let's pick it up. And now let's go back up. And we are stairs coming a bit, but we'll just try to keep that down in the future. Another Brass Lantern of True Sight. Wow, that's 3 in one game. Oh, that is funny because another one. I really don't like it when they see me. I'm probably being a little bit silly here, but I'm just going to reroll. So another Shadow Cloak. We're going to pick that up for sure. It doesn't have the bad ego. Doesn't have Winter's Chill, so now we don't have to worry about that anymore. That's very good. That was definitely a big concern for me. Okay. Cat warriors, high likelihood of them seeing us. They're also kind of humanoid. Again. Okay, we can't just keep rerolling. Let's just try to shadow them. Yeah, and then we fell. Yeah, okay, I don't like this type of area, so, because it's kind of like a little maze. And there are definitely monsters spawning there, so you can kind of get trapped. Okay. That was an alarm trap. That was dangerous. You can see us at any turn. We're breaking our own rules, and we're re-rolling a bunch. So, this is a Horn of Blasting. That's really interesting. Blasting is one of the few like escape methods in the game. You know, there's no scroll of blinking or teleportation in Sil. So blasting, if you aim it downwards and you have enough willpower, it'll make a hole through the ground and you'll fall through it and take some damage. But you can get out of, you know, worse situations than that. You can also aim it in a different direction to like call down rubble on monsters, but so we have 2 Majesty and 2 Slumber. I hate getting rid of them, but I think I'm going to drop one of the Slumber. Because even though we need it for the throne room, Majesty is really what we're going to be using more often. I don't want to get rid of Freedom or Revelations unless I take Song of Freedom. We had talked about taking Song of Freedom instead of Staunching. If I took Freedom, I wouldn't need the Staff of Freedom, and then I could use it to clear rubble indefinitely. And I wouldn't have Staunching to improve regen. We do have the Dragon Tooth Amulet of Regen. But Freedom might be the right choice here. Freedom would be nice to have at the end too, because it's so trapped up at the top. We don't want to waste turns dealing with them. It's a tough decision. Do we have stuff that's lower value than Staff of Freedom? I really don't know if we're going to use Clarity. But it's just that I can see a situation where we confused or hallucinated, and then like the run ends because we dropped Clarity. I hate dropping any type of healing, personally. We're not really using the short sword defender, honestly. I don't want to give up the long sword. If we do end up making a Feanorian lamp, we don't really need the dagger of Quevianin. Although, then I would switch to the short sword. The problem with dropping Slumber, though, is that we could get hit by fire or something, and then the staff could get burned up, and then we would have no staff. We need to have a backup. This is so tough. You guys get to watch me think about this. Constitution we need. Grace is a nice to have, but it might be like the most important thing right at the end. Can we increase our stealth? Yeah, let's just keep pushing that stealth. We're gonna really make ourselves safer. Just that one herb of healing is probably not that useful. Orcish Liquor. Orcish Liquor is not that useful because we can't really afford to take small amounts of healing. in most cases. We're dropping elemental resistance. Now that we don't have Winter's Chill, we're just going to not have elemental resistance. Hopefully we take Jeweler and we can get some elemental resistance through some rings. We definitely don't want to step next to a Spider of Gorgoroth. Spiders of Morgoth, of course, you want to have some source of freedom because they can entrance you. If you do fight them, but that's too dangerous to be near them at all. So a spear, defender. Is this the same defender, basically? Yeah. Well, it's +1, but it doesn't matter because we're not hitting things. Once again, we have something I want, so it might be strange, but I want this spear. It's a unique spear, and spears are good sil cutters for pacifists. This might very well be our sil cutter. Alright, we're dropping defender, and we're going to use this spear and see what happens. Oh, interesting. What is this one? Decreases your grace by 1. Slaves for alco can be thrown effectively. It grants you freedom of movement, ability to see, and enrages nearby creatures. Okay, we can't use it. Okay, well that's fine. That makes our decision for us. To decide what to do about this Grotesque. It could get us into an impossible situation if we're not careful. Now, this is a darting ore. We talked about them earlier and not let them see us. It looks like the Grotesque. Oh, no. Thought maybe it lost us. The thing we don't want to do is get ourselves cornered, basically. Special Greaves. Going up. Okay. Understanding. 6 charges. Yeah, I guess we'll just drop the 5 charge one, pick up the 6 charge one. I like to have as much understanding as I can, but we have such a... Inventory management's always been difficult for me, honestly. I wonder if it'd be better to drop something else like the Rusted Herb of Healing. Dwarf Mask, 6 pounds though. Yeah, they're always too heavy. It's special. Well, it can't be True Sight. What is the other one that Dwarf Masks have? Let's find out. Oh, we have to use our dagger if we be in it again. Did we not? Oh, we never dropped Defender. Yeah, that's right. Okay, let's see. Brilliance. That's pretty cool. But we really can't use it. I mean, we have... if we use the Dwarf Mask, we'll have 24 armor. We take off the gauntlets, we'll have 21. Then we'd have to take off the shield or the leather armor. Dwarf Mask is -2, 1d2. I think it's not good enough. It's so nice to have that brilliance, but I don't think we can wear a Dwarf Mask. I don't want those to mess around with those phantoms. We could do something like take Song of Trees, just thinking about my light issues, but we can't spare the experience. I really would like to find a forge. I wish that I had another guaranteed forge. There used to be, in earlier versions of Sil, there was a guaranteed forge later in the game. I think it was 750. But they were sort of pushed earlier. So I think it's a good change, but Okay, well, we have so much fuel for our lantern. We have +1 from Quivian, and I think our light's fine. So we're just really back in like exploration mode, looking for consumables, looking for monsters to get experience by looking at, and looking for that forge. I'm trying not to get killed. Using freedom a lot. But, you know, if I end up running out of freedom and needing it, then I can just take, I can just go ahead and take the song. Let's go down. Here, I think I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to let that be a block, like this rebel here and this rebel here. We'll just block off those passages, so we know that they're sort of safe here as well. There's only one entrance and exit to this area. Wow, lots of rebel. Okay, we'll do it for this one. More fuel. Wow, this is like a specific rebel area and more. We could use a little bit more. Oh, there's a greater werewolf. Very scary. We could use more song. I think that might be we've got 2,000 experience, that's going to be our next thing. We need to get our song up, and we need to take, let's see, staying is 7, so we've got 7, so can we take staunching? Staunching your freedom. That might be one of those things where I have to think about it between episodes. Scalduin's not good enough. Absolutely not. It's the worst room I've ever seen. It had a Wraith and a Unique in it. You saw from the last series how bad Wraiths can be. It has so many uses of freedom. It'd be nice to just be able to use it. This wouldn't be the first time I've taken freedom on a pacifist. Just wanted to pick up that bow. Let's see, Falmari. Oops. Falmari. Fires arrows with unerring precision. Seems like a super cool bow. Let's drop it. Let's see, let's use freedom again. We're just using it at every opportunity now. I guess one thing about Song of Staunching too is like, when you get into bad situations as a pacifist, they're often super dire all of a sudden, like we've seen so far. Like, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine, and then all of a sudden, you're absolutely screwed. And so, having to sing staunching may not be viable. So that's a bit of an argument for freedom. Freedom also would help us in the ascent, actually. Let's go down. Go back up. Oh, had we already gone down to 850? I don't know. Oh, whoops. Didn't mean to drop in to press SC for starting delvings. Because in the ascent, Morgoth will lock doors, and singing freedom should unlock them. Mithril corselet, 13 pounds. Okay. Well, let's do it. Let's take freedom. I like the idea of freedom now. Let's take, it was slaying was freedom. Oh no. Staying is staunching a challenge. Okay. That's fine. You know what? We got both. Silly. You think I would know this. I just know, it's one of those things like, maybe it's for the best. Our stealth is in a good place. We can take a few extra things. Yeah, you'd think I would know that because I take staying so often, but I always take staunching and then staying. So I had forgotten that freedom was for slaying, not staying. Okay, so 13 pounds for a corselet. So that's a little heavy, but what is the... It's 2d4. 13 plus plus 1, 14 for the shadow cloak, plus 8. We can't wear it and the shield. Let's drop the Staff of Freedom. That's the drop that frees up our inventory slot. Not too afraid of that dude. What is he called? Yeah, there he is. Oath Wraith, because they cause hunger. But they don't attack you. So many Staffs of Majesty. Okay, let's stay away from those greater werewolves. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, I think this is fine. I'm still happy with the character, and having freedom is going to help us out a lot. So definitely not a waste. I hope we can find some more experience soon. That was a little dangerous. I shouldn't have picked up that potion. Well, that Silmaril was there, and I also should not have been singing Delvings, but I was still thinking about the Song of Freedom situation. We're going to steal this and then sneak out. You can see that our stealth is holding up so far. We stepped right next to a cat unique. Just wanted to sort of manipulate them, let us get past, and once again, I'd like to get out. They can lose track of you. The Grotesque, and it almost makes me think we should take Vanish, because I really hate the idea of getting trapped by them. Although we do have blasting, so technically we could always get past them. Yeah, that's a good point. We always have blasting, so we're not going to get completely trapped. However, using blasting puts you in a tough spot because it's basically like falling down a trap, right? You end up on a lower floor without a staircase near you necessarily. This floor is seeming a little claustrophobic, and they are everywhere. At some point, I believe you get down far enough that you stop seeing them, so we won't have to deal with them forever. The episode's getting long. I don't like the fact that I have to step next to him, but I feel like I have to get out of this hallway. But let's see if we can just sort of normalize the situation. There's a nice cloak. I would love to find a forge before we end the episode. That'd be the perfect end. Cloak of the Traveler is not nearly good enough. That just reduces your hunger. Shadow Cloak is so much better. If you found a Shadow Cloak of the Traveler, that would be nice. But this young Drake, unless I'm mistaken, he's not going to move, so we can sit next to him even though he's just unwary. He's not asleep. It's unlikely that he would ever see us. Some troll guards. We have to be careful here. We're a little bit far from stairs. The troll guards, however, are going to have a low perception. And they're not fast or anything. Is he sleeping? No. Yeah, mess with him. If we have to come back here, it's going to be too dangerous, so let's just leave. This guy's blocking our path. We're going to have to do the waiting game. Okay, we're okay. We take one more hit. That was dangerous. We have to do it again. This is actually worse because of the darting ore. We're going to take quickness. We're going to look at him. It's unintelligent, so it can't be frightened. Can we, can it be slept, though? I think it can, yeah. We just have to wait for it to step in the corner. Then use slumber. Yep, they both fell asleep. Okay. No problem. Not an issue. My heart is not racing. Who said anything about that? Okay. Okay, I think this is it. We're not finding a forge. We're not getting to like a beautiful stopping point, but that's okay. We're going to go up, and we're going to next time just sort of stand ourselves. Cat assassins. We can go down. I don't like them near the staircase there. We'll go back up. Okay, now this is a new floor, and we know that this is what we're going to do in the next episode. So I had a good time in this episode. We've got some experience that we can spend. Let's do the thing where we think about it in between episodes and decide what we want to take. Maybe we'll take some dexterity. Maybe we'll take vanish. Maybe we will take something from the will tree, like mercy. Maybe we'll just go ahead and take staying. Staying is probably what we'll take, but we will still think about it. But staying would definitely increase our power quite a bit, because we would get an extra 3 to our what is our song actually? Yeah, our song is 12 for effective song, so it would be an extra 6 to our will. So it would make our staves incredibly strong, and that would make me feel a lot more safe. So we're at 800 feet. That's a pretty good amount of progress for this episode. Pretty happy with that. We survived a very dangerous situation. And I don't know, we spent the rest of the episode kind of meandering and then taking Song of Freedom by accident. So maybe, maybe it went downhill there for a bit, but I think freedom will actually be good for us, and maybe it's a happy accident. So definitely happy with how this character is going. We're getting down towards the end game. This is very exciting, everyone. I really appreciate you all watching, and I'll see you next time.